Welcome to Tranquilly Coding. Today in this video, I'm not going to show any coding tutorials or any coding videos. Today here we're going to discuss and decide which one to learn for Android development. Is it Java or Kotlin? So get ready with your pens and papers, call your friends. Today we're going to make a decision about what to learn for Android development in 2024 and maybe more, maybe 2025. Let's go. For anyone who doesn't want to see the whole video and want to know what is my opinion on this is for you, the TLDR. So Java has been the main language for Android development since 2008, since the Android started. There was C++ native codes here and there, but Java was the main languages for the development of Android software. Then here comes the Kotlin. Kotlin officially becomes Android's first language or official language in 2017, and from there Kotlin is growing bigger and bigger each year, each time. Kotlin's development is way faster and it is moving very quicker than Java. So in my opinion, Kotlin is the best choice for Android development in 2024 and moving forward from this time. So now the summary is gone. Let's dive into the video and know everything that we need to know about these two. So let's go back to the history and see how all of these things began. So Java, it was developed by Sun Microsystem in 1995. It was available since the time of the dinosaur. And compared to this, Kotlin is just a newborn baby. But the developer of Kotlin, it was created by JetBrains. They work so hard, they work every day and they make it stronger. They grew like arms to Kotlin, and right now Kotlin is in a very strong form in Android development and all over as a programming language. Then all of a sudden in 2017, Google announced it as its official language for Android in 2017. Have a look.
We have never added a new programming language to Android, and today we're making Kotlin an officially supported language in Android.
And Kotlin also bring the Jetpack Compost as another add-on. There is also Kotlin multi-platform as well as the Compost multi-platform. So Google is now officially supporting the Kotlin multi-platform as well. Google have their own multi-platform or cross-platform framework, that is Flutter. There is a blog post from Android developers titled Android Support for Kotlin Multi-Platform. It was posted by a director of product management and a director of engineering from Google. Google support was a big thing for Kotlin development and being so much mature in this quick time. But Java isn't actually going anywhere. Java is still widely used in lots of places. If you install Java, you will see like the billion devices pop up every time. So there is several reasons you should use Kotlin instead of Java. Not just because Google is supporting it and it is official Android language, but also it is actually a better language in some senses. If you talk about feature and syntax, Kotlin is way richer than Java. So Java is a verbose language where there is a lot of boilerplate code in your project, where using Kotlin you can keep it very simple, lightweight, and it will be more readable, understandable for any kind of future changes and maintenance. If you see this example, this is a data class or model class, the user class here. So it has two variables. One is the name variable, which is a string, and one is a s variable, which is an integer. So in the left side you can see the Java code where you need to create the constructor, then the getter and setter for each of the things, then the toString, equals, and hash code method. So you have to define all of these individually, then you can call all of them. But in Kotlin, if you want to create a data class, you just create the class as a data class and then pass the variables, and you automatically get the constructor, getter and setter, toString, equals, and all the methods that you see on the left side. Here is another example where you can see the null safety feature of Kotlin, where in the Java case, like if something is null, or could be null, you need to check with an if statement that if it is null or not, and then you can work with that part. But in Kotlin, you can just use this safe expression where you will call using a question and a dot operator, and you can call this nullable variable, and you will not face any kind of exception. So you don't need to call an if else to check every time something is null or not. Here is another example of an async task on a separate thread. That is the code difference of how much you need to write on Java for the same task and how little you need to write on Kotlin. And this is actually a huge difference in case of code size, maintenance, and readability. You can see the difference for yourself. As we are talking about the null safety, so this is actually a very critical feature for Kotlin and Java. So in Java, you will get a lot of null pointer exception in the runtime. So it will crash your app and show this exception. In Kotlin, we can handle this null issue in almost all of the time before our app even runs. So in Kotlin, like if there is something that could create a null issue, the IDE will automatically show the prompt for us to solve this issue before we actually can build and run this project. So there is very little chance to get a null pointer exception when you are working with Kotlin. And with Java, it is highly likely. If you worked on Java, you would know. And Kotlin brings another things to the table, that is the Jetpack Compost. So in Java and in Kotlin, in both ways, we can use XML to create the UI layouts. But in Kotlin, here comes Jetpack Compost, that is the declarative UI toolkit, and it will allow us to create the design in the Kotlin code as well. Like we don't need two separate languages like XML and Kotlin to create design and then the code. You can write the code with Kotlin and also design it with Kotlin. So no need to write in two separate languages. So Jetpack Compost is another like big thing to the table with the Kotlin and Java situation. You cannot use Jetpack Compost in Java. As Kotlin and Java both runs on JVM, they are actually interoperable. Like you can use Java code and Kotlin code in the same project, but not in the same file. Like inside the project, you can have 5 Kotlin class to Java class, and it will not cause any problem at all. You can also like convert your Java code into Kotlin using Android Studio very easily, just using copy and paste. It will automatically convert to Kotlin inside the Kotlin file. So both of these things are very interoperable. You can slightly like move little by little of your Java code base if you already have one into Kotlin without affecting your whole project. It will automatically work together because they all run in the same way. They run in the JVM, then create the bytecode, and then etc, etc. So the whole process is same. Both works in the same way, and they can be used together in any kind of project. In terms of community, both of them actually have a very good community. Java is here for a very long time, so if you count the hate for the community, Java will be always the winner here. If you think about the resource of the community and helpfulness, then both of the languages are the winner here. Kotlin actually growing a very good popularity, and it's actually already a mature language. And the developer of Kotlin, JetBrains, they actually provide a lots of documentation, resources, tutorials, demo projects for Kotlin from a very long time. And if you go to the Android documentation right now, you can see everything, every new feature that is available and coming to Android, it is releasing onto Kotlin first. Like there is always 2 sets of documentation. One is Kotlin and another one is Java. So you will have all the resources that you need in both sides, and for Kotlin you will get the most helps because developers are moving towards Kotlin. All the new libraries that you see are making into Kotlin. I myself personally do like 99% of my code in Kotlin unless I need to do something in Java. So community, this won't be issue for any of these cases, but the more time goes in Android, you will see the most people moving towards Kotlin rather than Java. In terms of productivity, Kotlin will be more productive because you don't need to think about the null issues. It is a modern syntax with lots of new features, and there is a lots of unique things like coroutines, lambdas, So those will help. There is lambda in Java too, but in Kotlin it is more like appropriately used and commonly used in all over the places. So it will help clear out the boilerplate codes, it will prevent some common errors and make your code readable, understandable, maintainable for the long term. So in terms of productivity, Kotlin is a like easy winner for this. For me, Kotlin is the winner in the discussion whether you should use Java or Kotlin. There could be lots of use cases for Java, like Java web application, Java server side. There is also Kotlin server side and other things, but in terms of only Android development, Kotlin will be a like winner by a huge margin. So who should learn Kotlin and who should learn Java? So if you want to learn about like Android development and you are completely beginner, you don't know any kind of programming or you don't have any idea, then I'll suggest you to go with Kotlin, because with Kotlin you will know the modern things that are currently using and you will not go to the outdated things that we did in the past. This will also help you to learn the Jetpack Compost easily because it's in the same language of Kotlin. So I would suggest you to go with Kotlin. And for XML and Jetpack Compost, this will be another discussion, but for Java and Kotlin, stick with Kotlin. And for someone who already knows some programming and stuff, it is also recommended for you to go with Kotlin. It will be easier for you to learn as you already know something of it. And the people who want to like learn Java, it is also good. Like if you learn Java, if you know Java, you will need like 7 days to learn Kotlin. For me, I actually didn't learn Kotlin like by tutorial. I learned Java way back. Then I was working with Java. Suddenly I started working with Kotlin, just saw some basic syntax post or tutorial, that's it, and then I start working with Kotlin. So this is just easiest step for you to move forward if you already have knowledge in Java. So this is it actually. Learn Kotlin and then slowly start learning the Jetpack Compost. Jetpack Compost I will not recommend 100% right now because it is still in the experimental phase with lots of things. So just start with Kotlin, gain experience with it, be a master in Kotlin, and then move forward with all the new changes that are coming. So this is for today. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching Tranquilly Coding.